Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and today I'm gonna be doing another Hytale ideas video. And today I'm actually going to do what a lot of people have been suggesting, and that's to talk about things that are primarily going to be mods. So one limitation that my previous idea videos have had is that I wanted to include things that I think should be in the base game, and that leaves out a lot of content. A large percentage of what Hytale is going to be for a lot of us is modded content generated by the player base. So now I'm going to be giving suggestions to you guys. Those of you that are coders, artists, model makers, etc. Now it's time for me to give you guys some ideas and ask for some more in the comments down below. Do you have any plans for a Hytale mod or network? I, in a previous video, talked about space travel in Hytale. Of course, now that more information has come out about the game, it is determined that traveling from one world to another will be done through portals, and you will not have to deal with space travel. But of course, I think it'd be really cool if you could have I think it'd be really cool as a mod concept to have the ability to create rockets. And not just like the industrial craft slash galacticraft way of making rockets, where you just craft a bunch of stuff together in the crafting table and it makes a generic rocket that you use to go from place to place. No, I'm talking more like KSP rockets, where there's multiple components, there's multiple kinds of boosters and fuel sources and fuel tanks, and you'd be able to rig up which stages activate at a time, and you'd be able to create your very own rocket. And some of them might not be able to leave the planet, but that's the fun part, is designing a rocket that can make it past the atmosphere. And then it could become a competitive thing, like, ooh, I made a rocket that could get to the moon, and then another person could be like, I made a rocket that could get to I don't know if we're talking in KSP terms here, Minimus, and that's as far as I got, at least personally, in the game. I wish I could have gone a bit farther into it, but I don't know, I just haven't picked up the game in a while. But I think it'd be really neat to be able to do that. Of course, there is one prerequisite to being able to make a space mod like that, and that is cubic chunk loading. I'm pretty sure most of you know what it means, but just in case, I'm going to sum it up really quickly. And the idea is that instead of like how Minecraft loads 256 block high 16 by 16 chunks, that the game would generate 16 by 16 by 16 chunks and have the ability to generate as many of them as you want, up, down, left, right, forward, backwards. This way you can have worlds that are theoretically infinite in size. Another cool idea would be having a dreams mod. Something that when you sleep in a bed, it will bring you to a dreamland. Maybe it could vary between different dreams. There could be a Candyland dream, there could be a dream that's in the clouds, there could be nightmares, and you'd be able to explore these crazy dream worlds that are, you know, maybe there could be like 30 different kinds of dreams that you could have. Some of them might be in urban environments where you'd be in a city, but then something would be going wrong and it'd be like dreamlike. Maybe there'd be, the citizens would be a bunch of animals just walking around like it's a normal day, and you're just there like, what the heck's going on? And you'd be able to explore these worlds, gather resources. And then, of course, since it's a dream, it wouldn't make sense to bring it back with you, but I still think that ability, just having the balance between realism and fun, I think you should be able to bring the stuff back after you finish dreaming. But yeah, something like that would be really fun. I can imagine having special abilities in these dreams. Maybe they're randomly generated, and every time you go to sleep at night, you'd be put through like this mini 5-minute mini game exploration type thing. Maybe it'd run out after a while, and in the mod, there could be something that keeps you asleep for longer, so maybe like sleeping medicine, so you'd be able to stay there for extended periods of time and get more stuff. Of course, an obvious one would be VR support. I actually saw that there was a brief conversation regarding VR support in Hytale, and the developer said that there are no plans as of now to do it. Not that they're not going to do it at all, but it is not in their current plan. So that leaves it to the modding community, of course. Historically, VR mods never really work out well, but considering how modifiable Hytale is, I do have some hope that there would be enough stuff within the game's engine that could be changed to allow for a somewhat seamless VR experience. I would totally do that. I don't know if you guys know, but I own an Oculus, and I never get to use it because it's just, Either the games that I play aren't related at all to the stuff I do on YouTube, or it's just like nauseating or not fun. Like, I would totally do a Subnautica in VR Let's Play if it was actually like properly done, but at the moment it's just, it makes you sick. So that would be really fun, to have the ability to immerse yourself in the Hytale world in VR. As a Fallout fan, this shouldn't come to any surprise to anybody. I would like to see an inventory system that is based on weight instead of item slots. So it would show up as a list. Every item would have a specific weight. Some items won't have weight. For example, how in Fallout New Vegas, if you're not in hardcore, you would have ammo that weighs nothing. For a game like Hytale, it might not fit, but I think for modded environments where there's like a bazillion items, that might work out for the best, because then you could take advantage of things like search bars, and it would just be a lot more compact. I don't know, would be something fun to see. Something that's more of a utility mod, more so than a player experience mod, would be a quest editor. So, of course, for all we know, there already will be an editor for making your own quests in Hytale, but just in case if it isn't, I think it'd be cool to be able to create your own quests, to be able to make your own dialogue trees. So, again, like Fallout, you'd be able to have multiple choices as to what you're going to say, and then it changes how the conversation goes, and then maybe you'd be able to use clever dialogue to convince people of one thing or the other. And one thing that kind of spoiled that system in Fallout is the idea of saving and loading to like basically guarantee that you always get the right dialogue option. I would imagine that Hytale's going to be like Minecraft in the sense that you can't just like save and go back to your save. It would make it mean a lot more if you actually convince an NPC to do something, when if you look at the stats or something, it's like a 2% chance that any player would be able to convince them. I don't know. Something like that would be really cool too. So quests, dialogue trees, I would count those as two separate things. I mean, they are technically related, but you know what I mean. Back in the day, I used to love messing with Disguisecraft to troll players on my server. That made for some funny content. So this next suggestion would be being able to disguise as mobs and players. This would be probably one of the easiest mods to make. As a matter of fact, this might be one of the things that we see in week 1 simply because it's so simple to do. Another type of game that I don't really get to play too often anymore is the civilization type of games. So like obviously Civ, SimCity, Tropico, things like that, where you have like a city or an empire and you're able to build it up over time. You would have workers that would be able to do stuff for you. You would be able to make factories that produce resources. You would upgrade those things and be able to expand your borders and, you know, manage a whole bunch of different things like civilian happiness and food. And I think it'd be really cool to have a mod that basically is like, you're still the player, like maybe you're a king, and you'd be able to create this large, I would like to say faction, but I don't want to say faction because Minecraft factions is a thing and that's nothing like what I'm thinking of. I would say kingdoms. Yeah, there we go. Maybe the mod could be called Kingdoms, and you're like a king character, and you're able to run around your worlds, and you'd be able to see the towns that you've made, and then you'd be able to check in on your civilians to see how good the work they're doing is, and be able to fight other kingdoms and take their bases, kind of like Clash of Clans in that way. That's actually kind of funny now that I think about it, but less baiting for microtransactions, obviously. So I've been watching a lot of Binging with Babish lately, and if you don't know what that channel is, he is a guy that makes a lot of food from movies and TV shows, and it makes for really fun content. He's a great cook, and he makes it look fun. So I think it'd be kind of cool in Hytale to have a mod that allows you to literally, on the component level, make food. So you'd get a saucepan, and then you'd be able to sear up like a piece of meat or something, throw in some butter or lard or something, and be able to like literally create the food item. And you'd cook up eggs, you'd whip milk into cream, you'd be able to add spices, and then maybe like name your dish in the end. And since it's such an ordeal, maybe it would allow you to save the template for that thing later. Maybe it would be just called a recipe, and who knows, it maybe give you extra benefits in game to make it worth doing in something like a mod pack. That's an interesting concept, actually. Do you guys think mod packs are going to be a thing? Like single player? Like, I don't know how single player mod packs would really work in Hytale. It's interesting. I hope that it's a thing because, I don't know, maybe you would have to join a server. Then again, you could just have a one-player local server. Who knows? And for the final idea, I'm going to do something really cheap. So the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about what mod am I going to make for Hytale, I immediately thought Call of Duty or Fallout or a mix of both in Hytale. And I decided I'm actually going to go through with it, and that is the Blockshot Network. So, yeah, kind of a cop-out to advertise my own thing, but it's a thought that I feel like all of us have had. How cool would it be to have a really good guns mod in Hytale? Just imagine. And it's already starting to become a reality. Obviously, we can't work with the game itself, but we can practice using Craft Studio. We can make a soundtrack, we can make a website, and determine what the core gameplay mechanics are going to be, at least like mathematically. We're texturing blocks, we're writing a story, we're doing everything we possibly can before Hytale comes out, and then obviously once the game itself comes out, we got a lot of coding to do. Well, anyway, if you'd like to check out the Blockshot project, I'll leave a link in the description down below and in the pinned comment where you could check out the website as well as the Discord channel and YouTube channel. There's a lot of different places where you can interact with Blockshot now. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't go in depth on a lot of these because the nature of these idea videos is, since there's 10 of them, I mean, I don't want to pack too much in each video because it will take like 30 minutes to go through everything. So if I missed something, or if an idea could be elaborated on further, then make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I read every single one of them, and if you've got a particularly awesome idea, I'll give it a heart, or maybe even include it in a future video. Who knows? Well, anyway, that's it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.